Was there a inflection point where it was like, hey, we're doing something cool, and then one day it was like, wow, like we got that deal, or this opened up, or a million people downloaded the app today, or something where you were just like, this is going to work. I know it. I feel it in my bones.
Yeah, I think there was a very clear separation. When we first launched the Robinhood waitlist and announced zero commission trading, that was a big inflection point. And, before that point, we had tried a bunch of things, various things, none of which ended up being successful. Like we launched a social network for traders where you can rate companies and, you could communicate with other traders, share news and do all sorts of things like that. And the idea was, okay, while we get the brokerage license, we'll build this great community. And then once we get the brokerage license, we'll let them trade and it'll be great. Well, we never got much traction on the trading community. And we were trying all the growth hacks and reading all the books about how to grow communities and everything. And, we had difficulty getting over 100 DAUs, for instance.
Wow.
And then we announced the wait list for Robinhood commission-free trading, and we had something like 50,000 waitlist signups in a week with no growth hacks, just like a very simple landing page communicating what we were doing.
Wow.
And then more and more kept signing up and referring each other, and it kept accelerating. We had close to 1 million in the first year, and we started getting invited to all the news TV shows. CNBC would call me, Bloomberg would call me and my co-founder, say, we need you guys to come on. And so, it was very, very clear that there was product market fit. Before we couldn't get anyone to return our calls. Suddenly they were calling us. More and more people were signing up. The graphs were up and to the right. So that's when we thought, okay, this has legs, like this is going to work. Of course, there were different inflection points throughout where, maybe things accelerated quite a bit and the opportunity was bigger than when we initially thought. But yeah, that was the first one. And I think you asked a question, Penny, earlier about, did I want it to be a huge company when I got started? I remember sitting in a small apartment that was working, that kind of like served as our office in the East Village in Manhattan, right above this bar called the Lit Lounge that was open till 4 a.m. every single night. People would be like smoking cigarettes in the Lit Lounge. So it was humble beginnings, but a lot of fun. And basically late night, my co-founder and I had conversations about, how big could this be? What if one day this company was worth $100 million? I forget if he said it or I did, but at that time we were like, that's completely insane. We should just like go back to earth here, because, at that time that seemed like a crazy outcome. Or, making $1 million in revenue, that seemed crazy. But I think what happens is it's sort of like climbing a ladder, you reach one rung and you just kind of keep going to the next thing. And then it feels normal after a while. You don't even really think about it.